Rose can start.
Is that all right, Rose?
Well, I may not belong here. I really don't see much point in going on. I just don't think there's much point in living much anymore.
Rose, what do you think that we could do to be helpful to you in this group? What kind of agenda could you come up with, you think, for us today?
I guess my depression,
Rose, there's no question but that depression is the issue that you want to work on. But that's what you want to work on in all your therapy. All the time you're in the hospital, all the outpatient work, and for the whole time that you're on medication and undergoing psychotherapy. So that's the goal of all your therapy, but it's too big for us to really tackle, in any effective way in the group. Can you select some smaller piece that we can help you with right here in this group today? Something to do with your relationships.
You don't have any relationships with people.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I don't have any relationships with people. I've lived alone ever since my husband Stuart died. And I've been depressed ever since.
Sound lonely.
Not the only time I have anybody that talks to me is when I go to the grocery store, or when the social worker comes around.
This sounds like there might be a really important kind of agenda, some sort of important work that you could do in this group today, Rose. I'd like to suggest that we try to focus on loneliness for you, on your isolation. And I'd like to suggest that maybe we could do some focusing on your loneliness right here in this ward, right here in this group, and perhaps you could say some things later on when we come back to it, of how you kind of contribute to your being lonely here in this ward, here in this group.
I don't know any of these people.
Well, maybe we could take a look later on about what you've done about getting to know them and what's gone right, what's gone wrong in that. Would you be willing to do that later?
I guess so.
Okay, it's a good agenda for you, Rose. Let's come back to it. That's great. Okay, shall we just go around in a circle? Mabel, what would you like to work on here today?
Well, I think the only reason I'm here is because of my hand. About 5 years ago, after my husband died, I had this seizure, and I woke up, and when I woke up from that, my hand was like this. And so they did all these tests on me, and they can't find any reason why my hand would be like that, but my hand is like this, see, and that's all there is. I mean, that's all that there is that I need to get handled. That's all that there is that I need to get handled.
I understand about how disturbing and how painful the problem with your hand is. But I still have a sense that's not an issue that we can help you with here in this group. I think we need to work on you, not your hand. The hand sort of gets in the way of relating to you.
But there's got to be something that can be done about it. I mean, I can't just go around for the rest of my life with my hand like this. I used to be able to do a lot of things. You know what it's like to try to live with something like that. I used to be able to knit, and I could cook, and I could do all these things, and now I can't even dress myself with my hand like this.
But I think if we're going to help you in this group, I think what we need to do is to try and help you talk some and learn some more about the way you relate to other people. Will you talk about your relationships with other people and see what we could find out there?
Well, relationships to me, like with my children.
Well, with whoever's important to you.
My children are wonderful. I have 3 children. I have 2 boys and a girl, and they're very successful. They're very successful. Of course, they come and spend some time with me, but there's something they can do about my hand, is there? There's something they can do about it, but why would they want to spend time with me?
They're probably very busy. They're busy with their jobs. They're raising their families. It isn't because they don't love you. They're just busy.
Yeah, that's right. They're very busy. They're very busy. They're very busy, and they just don't, I can see why they don't want to come over, because I am just a burden. I'm just a burden. What else? Why would they want to spend time with me? I was just like that. I don't know, one of my daughters said to me, she said to me that I was just a stuck record, that all I did was talk about my hand all the time.
I think that was very mean of her to say that to you. I think that was kind of cruel.
Well, no, she's a very nice girl. She is a very nice girl. It's just, you know, I do.
You know, sometimes I feel like your hand may be a way of you're almost saying, you know, pay attention to me. I want some attention, and no one pays any attention to me. And, you know, that's only human. All of us want to get some attention. So sometimes I think you talk about your hand, I almost feel like translating that into something like pay attention to me. But Rose, let me pick up on what you were just. Let me pick up on what you were just saying there.
I'm Mabel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get the name straight in a minute. But Mabel, talking about being a broken record, I wonder if that's not something you could take a look at here today. Would you be willing to sort of listen to some feedback from others, see whether there's other people who see you in that way, or what you're talking about your hand does to them?
I don't think I want to hear anything that they have to say. I don't want to.
What are you thinking?
I was thinking maybe I feel like I have a headache. I was thinking maybe I do not pay enough attention to other people, huh? Maybe I do focus on that too much.
Maybe you do what?
Maybe I do focus on my hand too much.
See, I think it's got a lot to do with your feeling perhaps you don't have anything else to offer people.
Well, do I? I mean, I used to be able to knit. I really could knit really well. I knit beautiful things for all the children and my grandchildren. And, you know, now people don't even care about handmade things. They just want things made by machines anyway.
Maybe let me suggest an agenda for you that I think might be helpful. I want you to see if you could try something. I want to focus on this whole feeling you've got nothing to offer anyone else. And I wonder if you could somehow help me in the meeting today, call on other people and make sure the other people in the group have a chance to talk about filling some of their agendas, getting some help. I'll give you some cues, but would you be willing to sort of call on people today as we go along?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as I know you'll help me.
Okay, great. Sonia, what could we do that would be helpful for you?
Go on without me.
What's happening?
I'm really bummed out today. I can't do it.
Can't do what?
It's just really tiring. I know I came.
Well, Sonia, listen, the important thing is that you did come to the meeting today. I hear you say that there's a part of you that feels like dying. Yeah, but there's also a part of you that came into this group today. And there's a part of you that wants to live. And I want to talk to that part of you. So let me just keep on talking to that part, the part of you that chose to come in here. I want to know what that part of you wants to do here today.
I don't know why I came. I don't know why I came to group today, and I shouldn't have. It was a mistake, and
So, Sonia, I've seen you work in groups before. I've seen you work in groups the last time you were in the hospital. Now, I've been aware that there are times you really work real well in the groups. You know, I think there have been times that you've come out of that group feeling better than when you came in. Is that right? Could you try, Sonia, to think back on one of those meetings? Can you remember, what happened in that group? What did we do? What did I do? What did you do that ended up making you feel a little bit better? Sometimes it's real important to find out what makes people feel better, as well as what makes them feel worse. So what happened in those meetings?
well, somebody helped me a little bit.
Somebody helped you a little bit?
Yeah.
How did they help you?
Well, they told me I wasn't always going to feel like this. And I don't want to feel like this.
So what happened there was that somebody gave you some support, somebody told you that you wouldn't always feel like this, or somebody kind of gave you some hope?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be one thing you might be able to get out of this group then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Sonia. Would you please take a look around the group here? Try to, Sonia. Would you look at the people in this group? Who would you like to get some support from in the group here? Of the various people here, would you choose someone that you'd like to get some...
I don't want any help from anyone.
Yeah, but if you were going to get some support from someone, Sonia, look around the group. Who would you most like to get it from? Take a chance, because I think this is the only way we can really give you something.
Marge.
Okay. So you'd like to get something from Marge, some form of support from Marge today. Okay, that's great. I think that's a good agenda. And we're glad you're able to come out to say that, Sonia. Okay, terrific. Let's move on. Tom, what could we do here in the group that would be useful for you? What is there about the way you relate to people that you'd like to learn more about?
You could, my agenda could be, why does the doctor say that I'm passive aggressive?
You want to say some more about that?
Well, why does he say that? What is passive aggressive? What is that? And why is,
Yeah, well, it's hard for us to work on that exactly, because your doctor's not here in the group. I mean, maybe if you could talk about what your understanding is of what he means, something like that.
it's maybe passive aggressive is that you get mad sometimes and sometimes you don't, or you get mad and you don't mean it.
Look, I wonder if I could ask you, kind of put it in your own words, Tom. What would you, not your doctor, but what would you like to learn about yourself? Given this opportunity, given a lot of people here who might be able to give you some feedback and help you, what would you like to change about the way you relate to others?
I'd like to know why my dad calls me a kid.
Why your dad calls you a kid? Yeah. Well, maybe we can get some help from others. Could some of you others... Are you with us, Meryl? Meryl, can you stay on track here? I wonder if some of you others could give me a help with, as I'm working here with Tom. Let me ask you, would you for a moment imagine that you were Tom? If you were Tom, what kind of agenda might you come up with for him today?
I think maybe if I was, I'd want to find out why I fight so much with the staff.
Okay, so you want to know, you'd be a general. Well, of course, the staff's not really here, but you want to know why I fight so much, if you were. Okay.
He fights a lot.
Maybe he would be better off in a group that was younger than this. He's the youngest one in our group. Maybe be able to interact better with a different group, younger group.
Okay. Are there other suggestions about agendas for Tom? Say he were here in this group, you were he. What would you suggest?
Maybe Tom could work on why he acts like a kid here in the group.
Okay, that sounds real workable, Sonia. So you're saying, I'll pretend I'm Tom. I'd like to find out then if I act like a kid here in this group. That's great. That's a great agenda. Any others?
Maybe he could ask if he's acting passive aggressive right now.
Right now. Okay. Good. That's enough. Those are good possibilities. Would you be willing to take one of those as an agenda? Let's just say, maybe act like a kid. Would you be willing to say, do I act like a kid here in this group? I want to get some feedback from others. How would you feel about that?
All right.
Okay, great. That's a good agenda. Good way for you to get some feedback, get some looks at others, how others see your behavior. Mm-hmm. All right? Good.
Okay.
George, what could we do that would be helpful for you? What kind of agenda could you come up with?
I guess this is my agenda. Walking again. I'm so ashamed. Please excuse me. I guess I don't know how to work in groups. I'm a surgeon. I look at facts. I work with facts to help other people. Now, I'm not a surgeon anymore. I'll never practice again. The stroke has ruined me. I even have to learn how to walk again. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't work. I used to work 80 hours a week.
What is your family?
Oh, they were all right. I provided for them well. My wife took good care of them. Hey, the kids worked out fine. But in all my life, my satisfaction, my pleasure was in working hard and helping other people. And now, I'm beholden to all these people for just doing the basic things. I don't know how to ask people to help.
No, George, I think the last thing you're talking about would be a really good agenda for you, because I think it's really important for you now to be able to do something about asking for help, allowing others to get the pleasure out of helping you. So what I'd like to suggest for you today, I wonder if you could take a couple of minutes today, sort of working on kind of expressing your feelings. Would you take a couple minutes later on in the group when the time comes and try telling us precisely how lousy you feel? So you could talk really honestly about how bad you feel. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah. I'm not sure I even have the capacity to do that.
Okay. Well, perhaps we can give you some feedback as you're doing that, so we can let you know whether or not we really can appreciate how lousy you feel.
Okay.
Okay, great. Marge, what could we do for you in this group today?
Well, I suppose my agenda would be that I need to learn how to express rage.
How so?
Well, my doctor said that if I learned how to better express my rage, then I wouldn't do so much cutting on myself. It says that I turn it inside, and he said that's why I cut myself.
So you want to learn how to express your rage more openly then, rather than expressing it by turning it on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things about expressing anger is, for a lot of people, Meryl, are you with us? One of the things about expressing anger for a lot of people that makes it so hard is that a lot of us sort of let it build up and build up and build up. We don't see anything until then it kind of gets over the top. It's like a volcano exploding. At that point, it's really scary. It's scary for you. It's scary for other people. So I think maybe the way we could work on that in this group is for you to express it before it starts to build up a whole lot. In other words, see if you could express young anger. You know, young anger, just as it's beginning. Maybe you wouldn't even call it anger then. Maybe you call it like irritation or frustration, something like that. So what I want to suggest is, if you'd be willing, we could call on you at some points in the group. Maybe, maybe Mabel could call on you. And see if you could get in touch then with whether you're feeling even the slightest bit of irritation or impatience. For example, whether you might be feeling a little impatient with the way I'm leading this group, something like that. Would you be willing to do that? Can we check in with you later on today a couple times?
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
Okay, good. I think that would be a good agenda for you. Meryl, what can we do in this group today for you?
Oh, I don't like groups. I don't feel comfortable in this group. I keep tuning in and out, and in and out, and I hear about all these people's pain. They're all so sad. I hear about a a sick hand and a sick leg and a angry boy, and I hear little parts of it, and then I just tune out, and it's like leaving my body. I'm not like really here, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why that happens to me all the time.
Maybe what we ought to try working on in this group today is to sort of help you focus. But sometimes you may kind of get overwhelmed with feelings, and then you can't focus anymore. It's too painful to stay there. How about working on that with us today?
When I was a little girl, my grandfather molested me. My therapist said that I should talk to you guys about that to the group. But why should I tell you guys that? Why should I tell you that? I mean, then you think I'm disgusting?
Well, would you...
It's not funny!
Well, hold on, Meryl. Would you want to take a look at how people feel towards you if you were to tell us something about some of the things that happened to you? You want to get some feedback from others as to whether or not people would really feel that you were disgusting or have bad feelings. Is that something you could take a look at?
I don't know if it was me or my therapist that really wanted to know that. Maybe it was my therapist. Yeah.
Now, let me go back to the first thing you said. I have a sense that maybe the most useful thing that you could work on in this group is staying focused. And I wonder if you would be willing to take a look at that today. I think if we could help you stay focused, you could do a lot more work in this group. Meryl, my impression, my experience is that the reason that a lot of people I've worked with can't stay focused is they get upset, they get anxious about something that's happening. And it's hard for them to stay with the anxiety, it's too painful, so they start to skitter off into other parts. So I want to suggest that if we could check in with you, and you could let us know as soon as you're starting to tune out, we could check in with you, and then you could begin to help kind of track down exactly the moment you started to tune out. And we could try and find out what was upsetting you at those points. That's not going to be easy for you. Would you be willing to let us know when you're starting to tune out, or if somebody sees you tuning out, they could kind of call on you and we could take a look at when you started to tune out, what happened? Would that be something you'd be willing to try? Okay, so that means you're letting us know when you feel you're tuning out, if you possibly can. Or others. So let's see where we can start. Mabel, let me remind you of your agenda, which was to try and help other people get started. So I'll leave it to you. Where do you think we ought to start?
I'd like to start with Rose. Rose, you know, you were saying that you were lonely. Well, I wish you would talk to me sometimes, because I'm lonely too.
How can you be lonely? You've always got your family with you.
Yeah,
when you're not with them and you're watching television, I don't want to interrupt you.
They just drop by sometimes, and I don't care if you interrupt me when I'm watching television.
Well,
because it's not the same, you know. We're like the same.
No. Look at George walking down the hall, trying to get better. I'd like to help if I can, George, but I don't know what to do, and I don't know if you'd want me to.
Hey, wait a minute. You can talk to me. If you want to talk, we can chat about the weather, or what's on TV, what's been happening in the hospital, things like that.
Maybe you just like to have somebody walk with you. Not talk, just walk with you.
Well, might take you an hour to get to the elevator.
It's okay.
I'd like that.
Yeah, try.
And I really like what was just going on here, Rose, between you and George and you and Mabel. And what really strikes me is that, you know, I hear both Mabel and George say they would have welcomed your coming out to them, you know. So it seems that it's sort of your kind of shyness, or your feeling that you have nothing to say to George, or that Mabel wouldn't be interested. It sounds like it's your own shyness that's sort of keeping you lonely here. Don't you think?
Well, it may be, maybe I could just sit with him and not have to talk.
Okay. 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 Let's take a look. Mabel, don't forget that part of your job today was to kind of take a look at Marge once in a while and see about her impatience.
That's right. So how are you feeling, Marge?
I feel fine.
Anything going on in the group today that's making you the slightest bit irritated or impatient?
No? Can't think of anything offhand.
Anything, let's say, about the way I'm leading the group? Doesn't have to be something big. I'm talking about the tiniest amount of irritation, because that's one thing we sort of thought it would be good for you to practice with. Am I leading the group perfectly, or is there something that sort of rubbed you slightly the wrong way?
No, I like the way that you're leading the group. I like the structure. Okay, I thought maybe the agendas were a little too long.
Why are you laughing at?
I think it's funny that the agendas were too.
Do you think they were as well?
But she said they were. That was funny.
Yeah, I agree with you though that I think we've got a whole lot of work here to do, and it sometimes it does take a while to get the agendas formulated.
I'm a little worried about Sonia.
Yeah, me too.
It's really sad.
Yeah, I think we really ought to turn to Sonia. I need to just call attention though, Meryl, I really felt you've been tuning out the last couple of minutes. Can we track that real quickly before we turn to Sonia? What caused you to tune out then?
I'm very worried about the cameras over there and the observers. What are the cameras doing there in our room?
The TV camera?
Yeah, over there.
Irv told you they were going to be there.
Yeah.
I forgot.
But don't you remember, Mel, right at the beginning of the group, I said there's a TV camera and that we have the group sort of on TV for the closed circuit for the students in the other room, that every meeting that we generally have observers, and that's the only way the students, medical students or residents, nursing students can really learn how to do group therapy.
My father was a photographer, and he was always taking pictures. He was always doing that. How do you know that he's not in there,
Okay, I can see that if you really thought your father might be watching you and watching this group, that would make you anxious. I think that would make anybody anxious. So, Meryl, let me ask you this. What can you do about that anxiety? What can you do to make that better?
I'd feel better to know that he wasn't watching.
If you were sure he wasn't watching. Okay. Well, you want to check that out? Would you like to go into the room next door where the students are? You know where it is, right next door.
Yes?
Go ahead, take a second.
Could I?
Sure, just go on in and see who's watching. It's fine. Well, let's just wait for her. Okay.
Who was in there?
There was a medical student and a student nurse.
You feel better?
Well, I feel better, but now I feel absolutely disgusting because I made such an issue out of it, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, hey, you have every legal right to do so. As a patient here in the hospital, you have a right to ask.
I really like what you did. You were anxious, you were upset about something, and you took some really effective steps to deal with the anxiety. I think that's great, Meryl. And I think that kind of frees you up to focus on what we're doing now.
Can I sit down?
Oh, yeah, please. Okay, so let's go on. Sonia, what do you think we could be able to offer you in the group today? How do you see us being helpful to you?
I'm totally depressed. I can't go off the ward because my eating's out of control, so I'm all cooped up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm all cooped up. Can't go off the ward because my eating's out of control.
Well, all I ever see you eating is Diet Cokes and exercising on the bike.
Thanks, Tom. That's all I needed.
You know, I'm aware that you, earlier when you were talking about your agenda, you talked about wanting some support from Marge, Sonia. Would you be willing to say something about why you selected Marge?
I think of Marge as a strong person. She's put up with a lot and she's learned to live with a lot of pain.
How do you feel about that,
Well, I'm flattered that you said that. I wish there was something that I could do to make you feel better. I wish you'd lift your head up a little bit. You have a really pretty face.
I'm embarrassed to ask you to be my friend.
Oh, that's silly.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be possible for the two of you to arrange to spend some time today outside the group, even 15, 20 minutes and talking.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe after dinner?
That'd be nice. I like that too.
You know, George, I was thinking, one of your things you want to work on your agenda is expressing some of your feelings. I wonder if you could say something about what feelings you've been having towards what's been happening, especially feelings towards Sonia here in the last few minutes.
Well, I feel that she's just upset because two of her friends left the hospital a couple of days ago, and I feel that in a couple of days she'll feel much better.
George, those are thoughts. Those aren't feelings.
No, they're not. Those are my gut feelings, that in a couple of days the kid's going to be much better, and the only reason why she's really upset right now may be because, her friends left.
George, could you say something about how you feel towards Sonia? Say, I feel...
Well, I feel that it's going to take some time, but I think that she's going to feel that really she's going to make progress, that she'll be able to make it.
Put it this way, maybe this will help. This will help you. What would you like to do? You see Sonia's in distress, obviously. What would you like to do for Sonia, or with Sonia, in order to kind of help her distress now? If you were alone with her, what would you like to do for her or with her?
Well, I like to have her sit on my lap so that I can hug her and tell her that everything will be all right. I'd like to give her some comfort. Maybe it's something I should have done with my own daughter.
So how do you feel about what George just said?
I like George saying that. It's more like what you need. I'm not used to doctors being that supportive, that human.
Certainly not the doctors in this group.
I mean you, I mean medical doctors, not shrinks.
Not all shrinks.
Any other feelings about Sonia today and what's just been happening?
It's so good to see her not hiding anymore.
I really like that you talk to us. I like it when you ask us, what you want for. I like to hear you talk.
A lot different from the Sonia we saw about 25 minutes ago. I think we've really done a lot of good work on this, but I think we ought to move on. Mabel, I wonder, where should we turn to now, do you think?
I'd like to hear from Tom.
Okay.
Tell them aware that your agenda today, you remember, you started off with saying, well, why do people call you names? Why does your doc call you names? And then we kind of got into the question, I guess that was you, Sonia, and maybe you, Marge, kind of suggested that maybe you could take a look at how you behave here in this group. You know, do you behave with passive aggressively? Do you behave like a kid? So would it be okay if we sort of check that out in the group so you get some feedback on how you behave? All right? Okay. Well, get some feedback for Tom about this. How have people been observing him?
Well, Tom tried to scare me by telling me there was a mouse on the ward. Shoot, like a little snitch.
Why did you tell on me? That wasn't in here. I didn't do anything to you.
March, I'm aware we haven't checked in with you for a while. I'm wondering if you have any feedback towards Tom. Is there anything that's been going on around Tom in the group today that causes, remember, just the slightest bit of irritation or impatience?
Tom teases. He told me my boyfriend was on the phone and he wasn't.
How did it make you feel?
I walked all the way down the hall. I was expecting the call. I didn't like it.
How about in the group today, Marge, anything going on in this last hour that causes any sort of reaction for you?
He was doing the bicycle. Sonia didn't like it. I don't know why he does things like that.
I don't like that when he laughs. You know, when I was talking about my hand, and he was laughing at him like that.
I wasn't laughing at you. I like to hear people laugh. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing because you said hand so many times. Hand.
That's how the laughter make you feel.
I just felt bad because I thought he didn't like me. And I just felt like I was taking up too much time.
Is that the way you were hoping Mabel would feel when you left? So what's happening here is that you do something and it has a kind of result in someone else in Mabel that you didn't want to happen, right?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay, well that's really important piece of learning. Others?
Sorry, Mary.
Meryl, are you with us? Could you, Meryl? Have you been following what's been going on? Could we check in with you? What have you been feeling about Tom during the meeting?
Tom, you laughed at me too.
I can laugh at you.
Yes, you did. You laughed at me when I said that my grandfather molested me.
I didn't.
You laughed.
I didn't laugh at you. I was laughing because you said grandfather. It sounded funny. It sounded icky.
Meryl, could you say something about how the laughter made you feel?
Well, that made me feel very bad. It hurt my feelings. I think you should say he's sorry.
Were you aware that the laughter would make her feel bad or that her feelings would be hurt, Tom?
No, I wasn't laughing at her. I didn't mean to make her feel bad.
It sounds like the same situation with Mabel. That you're laughing, not wanting to hurt her feelings, it ends up with her feelings being hurt.
I'm sorry.
Feedback, is it okay if we go on, Tom? Other feedback, other observations about Tom today?
Well, I feel sorry just that everybody seems to be picking on him today. I just wouldn't want them to do that to me.
Well, Let me just say something here, because I think what's been happening over the last 5 minutes, I think it's been a little hard on you, Tom. But I just want to say that I really feel that it's been something that's a good thing. You know, there's such a thing as hard love. You know, we kind of sort of give some criticism, but it's really coming out of concern for other people. So I think the group's been showing some hard love for you today, Tom. I think if people ignored you or didn't respond to this, that would be a way of not showing any caring at all. So beneath what's been going on, I think there's a whole lot of caring for you today. I think it's been a really good thing.
I like Tom. He reminds me of my son. And, you know, if you just weren't so rambunctious with the nurses in the hall, Tom.
He's been real nice with me. He checks in with me a couple of times a day, and last night he helped me with my food tray. You know, I had to get some stuff cut. He came in, cut it for me. Been okay with me.
Let's check back in with you, Tom. How you been feeling about the last few minutes?
I don't mean to make people feel bad. And I don't want people to think I'm laughing at them because I don't want anybody to feel bad. I like people.
Well, you know, that's funny. That's what I've been feeling during this group today, Tom. It seems to me the most important thing that's happened, I think, is that you end up trying to have some contact with people that you like, and you end up behaving in a way that causes them to be angry with you. You know, you cause them to feel towards you the way you don't want them to feel. It's almost as though something's gone wrong with your way of expressing liking to the people that you really do like. I think what might be helpful with you if we kind of got you some more practice with saying things directly when you like people. Would you mind trying something in the group? Just take a couple of minutes with this time. Would you mind, could you look at anyone in the group and pick out something that you like about them? This seems a little hard, I know. Just give it a try. Pick anybody.
I like Sonia's hair.
Okay.
I like her hair.
Alright. Well, how about Mabel?
Mabel's smart.
Mm-hmm.
She can help you in the group. She can say things.
How'd you feel about her calling on you and kind of giving you time today?
I like that.
Okay. How about Rose?
She's always real nice to me. She doesn't say a lot to me, but when she does, it's always nice things she says.
Okay. Well?
She always smiles nice.
This is real hard, obviously, Tom.
Silly.
It's alright, you're doing real well at the top. Would you mind going on? There's only Marge and George left.
Marge is friendly. And I like that. I like it too. George always talks to me, tells me stories of things that happen, and I like that. He'll talk to me for long times.
How does this feel? You did it real well.
Feels silly. I feel.
How do people feel about what Tom just did last couple minutes? What was that like?
I like that.
See, Tom, I think what's been going on in this group today is really important for you, because I think, in a sense, that original question you started with, do I act like a kid? I think the group, in a sense, has been saying, you do act like a kid when you tease people that you like instead of really telling them that you like them. So I think it's been an important message. Okay? I think we better move on. We don't have much time left. Mabel, where shall we go?
No. I
just really like how it's been going. It's so nice when everybody talks. And I feel like we're so much the same.
You know, we have one outstanding debt left in the group today. You remember that George was going to spend a couple minutes saying something about how bad he felt?
That's right, I forgot.
Yeah.
George, would you tell us about how you're feeling?
I don't think I can give you what you wanted of me.
Could you talk the whole group to? Well,
All my life I've been dealing with facts, helping other people, and I have difficulty in expressing other things than are just facts. I feel that I'm not going to get any better. That's a thought, isn't it?
keep going. You're doing all right.
I feel I'm afraid that I'm not going to get any better.
That's a feeling.
I get this feeling that the world is crashing in on me. That I'm living in a room that I can't get out of. I'm afraid that I'm going to be a burden on other people. All my life, I've never had to ask anybody for anything. And now I'm beholden to all sorts of people for the most basic thing. I can't even get to the bathroom on time. My family has their own life. I don't want to be this heavy weight that they have to drag along with them. Life isn't viable that way. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't even know what my body's telling me. Whether the pain that I feel is something to worry about or not. I'm uncertain about what's going to happen next. I used to be a guy who helped others all the time. My satisfaction, my pleasure was in helping others. And now it's like I'm at a door, and I open up the door and there's nothing out there. I'm not like a kid. Has to wear diapers.
George, I know this hasn't been easy for you, but I feel you've shared a whole lot. I feel very moved by what you said. feel a lot closer to you. I feel like I kind of know exactly what you're going through. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Other feelings?
I feel George's pain. And I just don't know what to do for him. I'd like to help and do something for him, but I just don't know what to do.
Maybe you don't need to do anything. Maybe you just should listen to it. Just be there. Just stand beside it and let it feel its pain.
George, I think you've given us a whole lot today, and I also think the group has given you a lot just by being present with you. Is it okay to stop now, George?